Stirring the coffee with the giant chopsticks of truth using the vortex method, the only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee. At the molecular level, good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started, but first, coffee. This is Triple Bastard Dark Roast, official sponsor of the Daybreak Show. Perfect. Always perfect. I'll put a link for it down below. I don't know what her name is, but she says this in response to yesterday's Daybreak Show, which I think is one of the best I have ever done. She says, I submit to my husband. He is the leader of our family. This was always the plan, even when we met 30 years ago. This doesn't mean I am abused. It means we complement each other. He is protective, a great provider. He is in control of himself. He doesn't drink, has never tried drugs or marijuana, doesn't gamble, chase women, or abuse us. He tells me every day that I'm still as beautiful as the day we met. He's a loving, though strict father, and the kids are doing well. And I've always thought he is a better person than I am. He is just so sensible, clear-headed, and right. I look around at my friends, and I don't think any of them have it as good as I do. I even feel that when he's annoying. He's a noted athlete. Women throw themselves at him. Maybe I should worry about that, but I don't. He's never given me any reason to. That sounds like she would be a great guest on the Daybreak Show. Or possibly a show later in the evening. That's what I think. Oh, this right here. This is I just noticed that. Should have took that off. You know what, I'm going to. That was from some bloodletting that I did yesterday. Here is the wild thing about my bloodletting every 2 months. Hold on. I hate it when it pulls the hair. Those are some hairy arms there. Ow. Anyways, we're doing good here. The bag of blood fills up in about 10 to 15 minutes. Most people are sitting there or laying there for a half hour. My blood fills up that bag 10 to 15 minutes tops. I don't know why. I have no idea. It just does. And they're all amazed. And I feel fantastic. I slept like a rock. I went to bed early. I got up early. Life is good. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool having her on, wouldn't it? Boy, the comments yesterday, oh my Lord, they were rough. I do think that yesterday's Daybreak Show was one of the best I've ever done, ever. If you didn't see yesterday's show, you should. Again, let me go over what this is all about. What is happening on my side of YouTube and social media? Number one, goal talk. We talk about the future, the goals that you want to achieve, rather than just another day. We have positive relationship talk. This is not a channel where I bash people. We don't sit here. The channel does not exist in order to bash anyone. We tell the truth on this channel. If sometimes that truth is hard to swallow, then so be it. There's plenty of other channels that will lie to you. That's not going to happen on this channel. Number three, how to be trimmer and healthier. I am a walking, breathing, living example of that. Tips, motivation, and examples of making more money and working smart. Something that I show you on a fairly regular basis. So I like to say, welcome to the bright side of YouTube. Welcome to the bright side of Rumble. My website is getting worked on right now. No one is able to sign up at georgeabruno.com, but as soon as you are able to, I will let you know. That newsletter will be cranking out. The movie Next with Nicolas Cage. Think about this. It's a good action flick. Nice twist at the end. I'm not going to give you any spoilers. He knows what's going to happen in the next 2 hours. He has like a superpower. He knows exactly what's going to happen everywhere in the next 2 hours. It's definitely worth watching. It's a little mind-bending, but I think you would like it. I'm not sure if it's on Amazon or Netflix, I'm not sure. I forget which one I watched it on. But the movie Next. Something, it's far out, but I think you'll like it. Tomorrow I release the video, it's only about 10 minutes long, called Why I Stopped Wearing a Cross. Cross as in cross around my neck. And it's going to be shocking. You want to have a long, happy, healthy marriage? You need to follow someone else. I'm like of the persuasion that I can't teach you about things that I haven't done. I don't know how to work on, I don't know, let's just pick out Volkswagens. For me to talk about Volkswagen engines, but I have no idea what the hell goes on in a Volkswagen engine. I lift up the hood of a VW and I have no idea where everything is. But for me to do that would be pretty stupid, right? I would rather teach you about the things that I know, things that I'm an expert in, things that I've spent more than 10,000 hours doing. You want to have a long, happy, healthy marriage? I'm not the guy to talk to, because that didn't happen with me. Follow someone else. But, however, you want to recover and feel normal again after a breakup or a divorce? I'm your guy. I got your back. Reach out to me anytime. To all the women out there that are wearing crosses around your neck, a lot of virgins hanging on the necks of non-virgins. Anyways, it must be hard to pleasure another man, go down on another man's dick while wearing the cross your husband bought for you. Imagine that. Jesus dangling on another man's balls while you are on him. So she sends the defiled cross back to the husband to convince herself that she's a good girl. Now, let's be consistent now. Get rid of the rosaries, the crosses, the Bibles, all the church going. It's not going to clean the nasty soul. All the bad decision making just ain't going to happen. Take the cross off. Take the crosses off the wall. Get rid of the prayer books. The rosaries, go right in the trash. Sorry. You insult the Lord every time you do it. Now, I got a cross here. I have an icon of Christ here. One of the reasons why I do that. Oh, and also too, here's a small icon of Christ. That's usually like on the windowsill. You guys have seen that. And then one of the latest ones is so beautiful. Oh my gosh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? It's beautiful. Long story short, icons, pictures of Christ, are windows to heaven. How can I tell you some vile nonsense with this right here? It's within my sight on the monitor. I become a better person when I'm Christ-minded. I'm a better person. Without Christ, a man is capable of almost anything, and I am that man, capable of almost anything. And I'm not talking about good stuff. With Christ, I'm capable of doing so much. Helping people one at a time, reading to people, starting the Daybreak Ranch, overcoming doubt, depression, helping others get out of a dark place. You know how I do that? Right here. It's not so much my education and 40 years experience. It's this right here. If you are not following me on gab.com, please do so. Just go to gab.com/George Bruno. It's not as savage as on Twitter, but give me a follow there. Show me some support there. That would be great. The places where you can follow me on social media are Gab, Twitter, Instagram, and of course here on YouTube. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. That would be awesome. That way you can be sure that helpful teaching comes into your home all the time. And the reason why I do that is because I know some of you are in a tough spot, and my hope is that you'll see something that's going to give you some hope, that ignites a fire in you. My goal is that by this time next year, here we are, June 2nd, 2023. By June 2nd, 2024, I want you to be unrecognizable, not only in your body, how you look, your attitude, what you're eating, the people you associate with. Give yourself 1 year. Next year, you can be unrecognizable. But one of the reasons why my social media exists is that I hope you're going to hear or see something that's going to flip a switch inside of you that's going to help you change. I can't tell you enough about yesterday's Daybreak show, The 10 Reasons Why Modern Women Avoid Marriage, truly might be one of my best Daybreak shows of all time, and that is no accident. Yesterday, I shared the reason why ladies should go back to their OG if he's not married or with someone else. I think it's real important that you work on something. Think about how far you've gone in your relationship with somebody. There's no such thing as a point of no return. Now, if you've lied and bullshitted him, you need to make that right and apologize and show him ways that you'll never do that again. And he may never trust you again, or may have little trust in you. But it's important that you do that. You know, it could take years. It could take years to build trust, but only 1 minute, one dumb decision to make all that trust go away. I'm not going to say he's going to take you back, but I will say this. If he is willing to work on the relationship and do something about it, you could be a killer couple. You could. I've been building a community of like-minded people here for about 7 years. I don't care about your descriptors, your pronouns, your skin color, your religion, your marital status, or what you do or don't do with a dick. I don't care. I don't care. I never hesitate to block or remove disrespectful people. If you like what I do here, stay and grow and support and communicate with me. If you don't like what's going on here, no one's making you stay. I've dedicated 7 years and my entire career, 7 years here and my entire career, to people's success and satisfaction in life, love, business, and career. I'm particularly skilled at helping people get through hard times. That's what I do as a coach. That's what I do for a living. And I'm here for you. I got your back. I can't tell you that enough. I do think that marriage is the best way to co-create. It's better than a business relationship, although you heard me last week say that marriage should be a 2 to 5 year commitment. Lifetime is too hard to handle. People can't handle a life. They say till death do us part. They have no idea what they're saying. Let's give it 2 to 5 years. I'm not saying split at the end of 2 to 5 years, but what if you did a marriage renewal? What if you renewed your vows every 2 to 5 years? And if you have kids, how wonderful it is for those kids to hear mom and dad renew their commitment to one another. Wouldn't that be cool? Right? The idealist in you says, oh, you are advocating divorce. No, I am not an advocate of divorce. I like to say date long, marry slow, but divorce fast. Date long, 2 years. More than 2 years. You can find everything you need in 2 years. If anyone's going to flake, like the nut in another person can come out in 2 years. 4 years is too much. I had a 4-year relationship. Too much. Too much. It should have been 2 years. If something didn't happen in 2 years, waiting another year or two or whatever wasn't going to make anything better. You're going to find out all you need to know about somebody within 6 months to 2 years. You go through 2 Christmases, 2 sets of birthdays, 2 sets of holidays, 2 sets of falls and springs and summers, and then just make it happen. Get married. And then have a celebration. You don't have to spend a lot of money. The days of big weddings and spending a lot of money, those days are over with, thank God. And have a reception somewhere. Invite people that you love, not just everybody in your address book. The people that love you. So marriage is the business of co-creating. It's not just a man supporting a child. I know a lot of guys will say women are just children. They're like pets and children. Okay, I get that. I understand that, but I don't adhere to that. You are co-creators. The man leads. The biggest thing a man needs to be able to do is to tell his woman, follow my lead. You will judge her based upon her ability to follow you. Well, a couple things come up. Number 1, you better be a leader. Number 2, you better have somewhere for her to follow you to, a clear, detailed vision of your future with contingency plans, A, B, and C. You need to sit down at a table and plan your 5 years. How much you're going to save, how much debt you're going to pay off, what kind of house you're going to live in, what you need to do to build up an account to get that down payment, to get that house, to get the pool, to get the car, to reduce debt, to pay things off, what you're going to build, how you're going to travel. For instance, one of the things I want to do is I want to take a tour of museums around the country and let my traveling be about museums. I want to do great museums of the world, starting with the United States. So the first visit might be Chicago Museum of Art and spend a couple days there and make videos. And that's working for me because I write off every single expense, but my wife would be with me as I am doing that. Next museum might be some quirky museum in Montana somewhere. Next one might be in Charleston. So for a short time, we're living on the road. We are producing documentaries. We are producing videos on museums, talking about things, having a morning coffee talk. That's the kind of stuff I want to do. That's like what's in my head. Those are my thoughts for how to have an interesting marriage. Thou shalt never bore. Never bore your woman. Women don't want to be bored. And the minute that there's someone a little bit more exciting, my brother, then the attraction goes. You got to remember, all breakups and divorce happen because of a drop in attraction. Not because she's more attracted to you, but a drop in attraction. So that way the UPS driver is more exciting than you are. Men, no more of this just coming home from work and sitting in a recliner and drinking beer. I know that's like a stereotypical guy, but I asked you this question earlier in the week. How long will you watch other people do what you want to do? When are you going to make a plan of action? Pick a date. Pick a date, July 1st, August 1st, and start working towards that. I should show you one of my methods for getting things done. As a typical ADD guy that can't finish shit, I'm the guy that will shave half my face. The phone rings. I get off the phone and then iron half my shirt and then realize, oh, I was in the middle of shaving my face. I go back in the bathroom, shave the other half of my face. And then I'm like, oh, the other half of my shirt. One of the ways that I've dealt with that is by using an analog kitchen timer. I literally set it for 15 minutes and I do a 15-minute task. That 15-minute task gets done and then I set it again for 15 minutes and complete another task. Everything from laundry to cleaning to getting things done outside, organizing, straightening out the vehicles, straightening out the refrigerator. Everything is done in 15-minute increments. It's a great method of getting things done. Just a reminder that all I meet is women who just want to fuck. That's it. I never meet women that want to do anything else. If a woman is DTF, you're in, my brother. You're in. And for a lot of you guys, that's where you're at. But nobody ever talks about marriage or a life together, having babies. And I think society is really screwed now. Society is pretty screwed the way it is. Men really get the crappy end of the stick. There's plenty of channels that talk about that, and I'm friends with a lot of those guys. I know they don't even like me talking about this kind of stuff, but I like them, and I support them, and they are important voices. Two voices that are important in the men's community. Some of you guys are going to think I'm crazy for this. Are Undead Chronic and Hammerhand. Give you guys a shout out. I told Hammer over a year ago, I said, your voice is important. People need to hear you. You wouldn't think that I would be a fan of Chronic or Hammer, would you? But I am, because they're important, and a lot of men get good help from them. They are part of what I call a healthy cocktail for men. Now, if you watch nothing but dooming people, doomers, people who just talk negative about everything, it's going to affect you. But the cocktail is several different components, just like you would make a drink. Speaking of drinks, I need to have my triple bastard dark roast coffee. Thank you, David, for this. I think that Chronic and Hammer are part of a healthy cocktail for men's sanity, clarity, and reason. Recovery from grief is an exercise in storytelling. You don't get near feeling normal again till you can package and encapsulate your story. But then again, you may always wear that grief an inch below the surface of your smile. And grief, one thing people don't tell you about this is that grief fundamentally transforms who you are. The tough times that you go through are changing you. Only time will tell if it's for good or bad. But never let things build up to the point where just one phone call or one encounter with somebody or just one decision or just one thing happening to you can change your life for the worst. I've always said, if a phone call can ruin your life, you got to rethink your life. Do not take any shortcuts when vetting a wife. Now, when I say vet, I mean evaluating a woman who can be a wife, putting her through the process, a quote unquote, a wife background check. Do not take any shortcuts. Never. It can take a couple years, easily. That's why I say date long, marry slow, divorce fast, if you're going to get divorced. But a woman can be stained by bad sexual choices that she's made. I really do think after one or two men have been with her sexually and that she has gone down on one or two men, I really do think it affects her decision-making ability. Some women, can say, I've only been with a few men or I've been with less than 10. I do believe that some of the craziness starts with more than one or two men. I truly believe that with all my heart. We don't see that because it's hard to measure craziness. But women can come across at the job as being competent, but in their personal life can be complete freaks. I know women that put themselves together prim and proper for their Monday through Friday 9 to 5. But after work and on weekends, they are complete freaks. They're swinging from the chandeliers, sucking dick, getting railed, and then ironing their clothes on Sunday and starting all over again on Monday. So they feel like that they have to break out of that routine and get crazy for a day and a half or 2 days or a weekend and then be normal again. Men can't compartmentalize so much like that. Men can say, wow, a whole weekend to myself. These are the movies I'm going to watch. This is the food I'm going to make. This is the steak I'm going to grill. This is the spice I'm going to use, and I'm going to enjoy it. And I'm not going to answer the phone. And I'm going to mow the lawn, clean the house, and do that. Women fear the weekends coming up. They got to fill up their time to be excited. That's the way they are. That is why some guys will say women are nothing but children. I don't believe that, but there is an element of truth to that. They have to be entertained. That is why one of the mantras in the men's community is thou shalt not bore. I do think this, though, that ladies, the boring guy is going to make your best husband. So women have been stained by bad sexual choices, poor impulses. They've had a bad family life, bad relationship with their father. Imagine having a bad relationship with your father. That does spill over into your relationship with your man. Let's get real. Will someone tell the truth? I'm going to tell the truth on that one. Behind every player that's also a slayer, and when I say that, I mean just going out and getting vitamin P every weekend or 1 or 2 nights a week, is a past with being slayed and played. It's not worth it, my brother. The guy that's going out there and breaking hearts and experiencing women, that guy has a track record of pain. His resume is that of being heartbroken. And every time he gets his heart broken, he goes out and goes on a rampage, becomes American Psycho. Don't just look at it, eat it. He becomes that guy where he goes out and slays, and when I say slay, I mean having sex, conquering 20 to 30 women for every time he gets let down. It's a way of him, it's a drug. It's a way of him anesthetizing his pain, confusion, and what he feels is betrayal. And this is how men, players, rack up notch counts of 50, 100, 500, 1,000 women. This is how they do it. They do it not because they're skilled, not because they're horny. They do it out of hurt. I call them heartbroken heartbreakers. Ask me how I know. I hope to be getting an e-bike soon or converting my bike. There have been arguments for and against it. Some people said your bike was not built to be an e-bike. You might as well just drop the money and get an e-bike. Get a bike that is made to be an e-bike. I know people that have retrofitted their bikes. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do. But what I want to do is to be able to do the Daybreak Show and then get on my bike and ride 10, 20 miles somewhere along the river, along a path, ride into Philadelphia, do a U-turn, circle the museum, and then come back. I would love to be able to do that in the morning, maybe once or twice a week. That would be kind of fun. At about this time in the morning. What is it now? All right, it's 5:46. I usually press record at about 4:30. I get up in the morning, make coffee, thank God, and then do something, and then come back and edit. But that's what I want to do. And I think an e-bike is going to motivate me to get out and do that. I was listening to Wrangler Star, and he was talking about how he rides his bike more now that he has an e-bike. This is worth repeating, and it's probably a couple weeks old. Hypergamy is alive and well, which means women are always looking for something better. Always. Always looking for something better. Do not dismiss it, my brothers. Stay increasingly attractive. Ryan Stone used to say, be attractive and don't be unattractive. She is wired to always want the best, and her radar is always sniffing out the best. Indicators of success in men are wealth, looks, status. And once she's gone, you don't get her back by all of a sudden increasing those things. She's already gone, let her go. If she's going to come back, she has to come back with her own will, no pressure. Most likely she won't, and you need to move on. That's why I tell women, go back to your OG. You're going to be happier. No one loves you and cares for you like your OG. Good luck finding that guy. But women are like children in the sense that they got to be entertained all the time. And they are shiny object experts. Because the old man at home, or at the other end of the FaceTime, is just getting boring, isn't he? The average relationship is 3 years, and if it lasts longer than that, she's going to start lying and creating a backup plan long before dropping a breakup bomb on him. Women are always single. Women are never celibate for life. Women always misrepresent themselves in some form or fashion. The sexually pure woman is worth more. I'll tell you why. Historically, every father knew that was a bragging point for his daughter when a young man came knocking. The father literally had stricter rules for the daughter that was virginic and pure. Even fathers knew that for centuries, millennia. This is not just some misogynistic thing that a bunch of guys made up in the past 20 years. Purity. We want purity, and we look for the most purity in a woman. Is purity on a spectrum? It sure is. Being with a woman who has been with 10 guys seems like a virgin compared to the woman who's been with 100 guys. Try being my age. Whew. It's rough out there, my brother. It's rough. The stuff that you have to ignore to move forward in a relationship over 40 is amazing. Because all of that stuff is like a trailer that you're pulling behind your marriage that you eventually have to unpack. Even historical documents refer to women as virgins then married. There's nothing in between. There's no dating, fucking and sucking, finding oneself, 4 years of dorm life, traveling the world, then brainwashed corporate girl and traveling for business, and having an affair with Pavel and Anze. Remember what I said about hotel bars being the best place for hookups. Here it is Friday. Maybe I'll do a live video and go to a hotel bar. Maybe I'll do that sometime and just kind of show you what I'm talking about without messing up. I have to do it in such a way where I'm not getting people in trouble. Maybe just vlogging while I'm at the bar or something like that, and we'll see what happens. Just to show you how easy it is. I'm not showing you how to sin, but I want to show you what I'm talking about. With the modern woman, the man is saddled with this mission to find a woman as pure as he can find. He does not want the town bicycle. And when I say the town bicycle, a woman that was ridden by everybody and then just abandoned. Men work harder for purity than for the women with sad eyes. Sad eyes means innocence lost. Women have to use hair color, bright nails, makeup, Botox, adorn self with jewelry, hoop earrings, work out obsessively to get thinner. And you know what's interesting? Women want to get thinner, but men like curves. Women in their head think that men want a skinny woman. I have said to my women in the past, don't get too skinny on me. And they laugh. And then they obsessively do cardio, obsessively starve themselves, when that beautiful hourglass was exactly what I wanted. Those big, plump, beautiful, perky breasts became flat pancakes because she wanted to get thin and thought that was more attractive. As men, we are attracted to youthful beauty and purity naturally. Naturally. This is not a social construct. We are attracted to purity, period. I make no excuses for it. That's why I say we get the purest that we can. I've only had 2 women in my lifetime that were virgins and pure, and I regret breaking up with both of them. They were my first 2 girlfriends, and I should have been married for 40 years and have 10 children by now. That's exactly how I feel. But I ended up taking the life of a playboy and dishonoring God. And here I am. Look at me now. 3 kids, divorced. Kids have their own lives. And here I am looking for a wife again. Great career. Great future ahead of me. But what is my future if I just get up, have coffee, do a broadcast every day? Since men are attracted to youthful beauty, women are sex objects, men are success objects. Every time a woman is involved sexually with a different man, a piece of her soul is affected. She's absorbing and ingesting his life energy semen. It's not just a chemical that comes out of his body. It is a dynamic life force. Hence the schizo nature all men have experienced, because many women have ingested his or men's life force. Think about it. It's the single most valuable substance in the world. It aggressively, not passively, brings life to static or otherwise a finite number of dormant eggs in a woman. If you add hormonal birth control to all of this scenario, gentlemen, you are eating synthetic female hormones, because most women are on birth control pills or IUDs inside their vaginas. You are eating those female hormones. And of course they mess up. Every guy's going to tell you a woman on hormonal birth control gets a little bit wacky. Every single one. You start ingesting that stuff, guess what? They say, well, it's only in trace amounts. Trace amounts over a long period of time can mess up your head, mess up your body as a man. That's why I'm all about natural rhythm method. Well, it's not foolproof. What do you mean foolproof? God forbid a baby is created. God forbid. Like that's the bad thing? Remember Obama said, we wouldn't want to punish her with a baby. Fucking asshole. Seriously. If your woman is on hormonal birth control, you will have 2 women in the house, her and you. And if she was ever on hormonal birth control, you have experienced everything that I speak of. Women's behavior is controlled by hormones, emotions, and the gotta-have-it sex drive with a dick or a vibrator. Every single woman I know, her top drawer has a dildo in it. Every single woman. And I'm not talking just like whorish women. I'm talking about just like your normal, everyday corporate woman, happy, dresses nice, friendly, girlfriends, has a vibrator in her top drawer with lube and condoms in case she brings a man home. Men's behavior is controlled by their sex drive, otherwise known as lust and desire. God did not have to make sex feel good. He could have just said, insert A into B, and a baby will be born. Instead, he made this and this feel good when they meet. That's a beautiful thing. So this and this are meant for primarily procreating. making life. Secondly, for pleasure. So can you praise God when you have sex? Yes, you can. Thank the Lord for sex. Every man fights idealism. You sincerely want scenarios like this to be a possibility. But part of dealing with grief and loss is to bury that dream, the loss of something you never had or will have. It's an inside job, gentlemen. Sure, the gym and the bros can help distract you, or alcohol, or drugs, or porn, but you still have to do the work. I do not advocate for casual sex. I believe it is for a committed relationship. Whether that's a lifelong relationship is usually up to the women because they're the ones who initiate most divorces. Women initiate 70% of divorces. That number goes up to 90% if she's college educated. Add a bad relationship with her father to that, it might even go higher. And this is whether they are Christian or not. I get all the comments all the time. Well, if you both trust in Jesus Christ and Christianity do not make a dent in the divorce statistics. Women are still filing for divorce, Christian or not. Now, I would prefer to be married, personally, but I have not found a suitable woman who actually can make a commitment. I can meet women who are DTF. But when you talk about anything more than that, they're down the road. I don't entertain idealist Christian people here who are out of touch with statistics and reality. As a professional man's coach, I've been working with men for over 40 years. I help men in the areas of life, love, business, and career. I specialize in grief, loss, reinventing yourself, and something very unique, and that is helping men get out of relationships and marriages that never should have happened. Do you want to get out of a relationship? Do you want to get out of a marriage that never should have happened? I bet you can't find a coach to help you do that. You never heard of that until I told you that I do it. You can work with me. It's not cheap, but neither is staying in a crappy marriage that never should have happened or in a relationship that's making you stressed out and keeping you from achieving your dreams. So that's why I'm building a community of like-minded people here, and I welcome you to participate in that intelligently. Even though this is mainly a man's channel, women here usually like the content because they have brothers, sons, fathers, and male friends that they care about. So welcome the ladies who are on board with this kind of content. You give her monogamy, and she still doesn't want to give up girl vacations to the Keys, solo vacations, which we all know aren't solo. You know that, right? Traveling for work. And all those three inputs, mouth, anus, and vagina, are going to get a lot of action. She belongs to the streets lacking self-control, and she becomes a demolition expert. Then one day when the Botox isn't working and the hair is thin and she's balder than you and the egg carton is empty, she'll want to settle down and some dude will think that he really scored. Fellas, this scenario plays out daily millions of times. Most of this is to passive-aggressively get back at her father and not have to live life like her mom did. But what did she really get? Like I said yesterday on the Daybreak Show, women get to the top of the ladder and then they realize there's nothing there. And all they want is a man to hold them, make a cup of coffee for them, kiss them, make them feel safe. That's all they want. So what did she really get other than fungus, toenails and fingernails and herpes that shows up when you least expect it? Then you got to avoid her until that sore goes away, and a screwed up endocrine system. Guys, do your research, spin plates, spend time with other women. I didn't say have sex with other women. Some of you spurgs, that's all you can think about when you hear spin plates. Don't invest in today's most quickly depreciating asset, which is the modern woman. Her value is going down by the day. They got what they wanted. I look at women my age who lived like this, and I guarantee you, gentlemen, it's not a pretty sight. This one woman says, many years ago, I tried birth control pills twice. I felt like they were itching powder on my brain, worse than a short fuse. It was like no fuse at all. I refused to live like that, and I never tried them again. We went completely natural, and everything worked out fine. Women do write me. Now that's amazing. As I've said a million times, whenever a woman says, I love you, in your head add the words, for now. I love you, for now. And it's always, for now. It can all change. And gentlemen, when you know, you know. So finish your coffee and I'll see you on the next Daybreak Show, your home of sanity, clarity, and reason. And tomorrow's video, why I stopped wearing a cross. It's a hot one. Don't miss it.